20, 30 times a game, or I got to throw it 40 times a game. You know, whatever it takes to win, you know, I want to do.
Yeah.
Or run it for 205. You'll do that too, whatever it takes.
You're getting nothing out of this, Hoppy.
I get nothing.
I mean, you're because, Hoppy, you're handling it like a deposition. I mean, you just
I am watching Suits right now, so I'm well versed in my lawyer talk. So
you handled it very well.
Yeah, very.
Real quick though, you mentioned a couple of the new pieces, wide receiver wise, with Taylor and Carter. Nice weapons. Those are going to be good additions to the program, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Cole Taylor is a freak. I mean, he's the one. He gets off the bus first.
Yeah,
you
nice
know,
big target for you.
He's
there.
a big guy, and you know he's got great, phenomenal hands. And then Devin's just a physical freak. You know, and you know we're not going to discount you know, EJ Horton, who's the transfer from Marshall. He can.
I heard he can scoot.
He can fly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got real speed. You know, Jeremiah Aaron, you know, who I'm looking forward to watching this year. And then you got Cortez Braham, Preston Fox. You know, you got a ton of guys that they, you know, have paid their dues and, you know, put in the work this summer.
Sure. Preston Fox catches everything.
He catches everything.
Really?
Yeah.
He's got some hands.
Yeah.
But you know, you're the second guy that has talked to me in the last 3 days about EJ Horton, saying like, it was CJ Donaldson. I'm talking to him Friday, and he said, "Choo."
Yeah.
Vertical threat.
Yeah, he's got real like that's real speed.
Yeah, but you can too. We had Malachi Ruffin in here doing what was that called? Micro internship? Is that what that was?
Yes, it was.
He says you're right there, one of the top 5 fastest guys on the team. True?
Well, thanks to his mom.
Yeah, thanks to my mom.
That's what he said.
Yeah, when I need to, I can
You
get
can
it
go.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
I
seen
can
it.
get going.
What's the fastest you ever clocked out GPS? Don't hold back. Let's go.
Maybe like.
Did you get 21?
Oh yeah, 21. It's
Shook off 21.
Shook you off. Way low. Over. He just gave you an over and didn't even bat an eye.
I think I hit 22 in a scrimmage in 2021. I think.
What's the matter? Getting old? Can't you get that again? What's the matter? Old man?
It's the weight. No, I'm kidding. I hit 21s this summer, so you know, hopefully with some adrenaline, I'll be able to get 22.
He's put on. Guys put on 20 pounds and make him a break.
Yeah.
20
What's
pounds.
the biggest thing food-wise that changed to help you put 20? We have a lot of listeners that want to take 20 off, but for those
including the guy sitting to his right.
But for the few people that want to, what was the biggest food diet change you made to gain that weight?
You know, it kind of sounds gross, but you know, my dad being in athletics, and when he was playing, he played in the big leagues at like 165.
At 6'3".
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he was small. Like at the end of the season, he'd be like 160. If he'd start at like 185, and then throughout the year he'd lose it. So he said it was like 2 scoops of mashed potatoes, chocolate milk, and 2 hard-boiled eggs.
At the same time?
No, I mean, like that's your meal before you go to bed. So
Yeah,
I've done that. I did that all winter and all summer.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't taste great going down, but you know, because you're mixing
actually good.
eggs
That's right,
with
my
chocolate
wheelhouse.
milk
I take
and
all
mashed potatoes.
That's 3 of my favorite foods right there. I might try. I'll be 300 before we
No,
get
I
to the
understand.
first.
It's the order of descension.
Yeah, exactly. It's how it goes down.
Favorite
Yeah, it's
things
how
he
it
just
goes
knew.
Hey, Garrett, I don't want, we got to get your dad on here. I want to talk to your dad. I mean, to be 165 and catch in the show, I mean, that's a grind.
Yeah,
That's a
you know, I'm
grind.
sure my dad would love to come on, but you know, he always told me that, you know, this is your show. I just want to be dad. So you ask him that on a one-off.
Go back to the nutrition side of things, because that really is where it's changed. I know you followed your dad's regimen there, but it's just so different than it was 15, 20 years ago. How much easier does that make it for you? Food's available all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Advice is available all the time. Protein shakes available all the time. That I would think that just eliminates the thinking part of that, which has got to be a huge help.
Yeah, you know, I think with the help of Haley and her staff, along with Mike Joseph, I think we have the best staff for putting weight on. Like I came in at like 170 something, and you know now I'm up to 202, right around 200. So I think they've done a phenomenal job putting me on a plan and ensuring that I follow that plan.
Yeah, the nutrition's changed unbelievably, dude. When you're in the locker room, the beverage center, is that what y'all call it? The snack area.
Yeah, like refuel.
It's refuel, the fueling station.
The fueling station.
Again, I bring this up 52 times a week. But the fact that we've gone from you can't give them cream cheese on a bagel or it was a violation to what it is now, it's just like, it is awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely awesome. Just a whole different
The
mindset.
access is incredible now.
Yes.
Which is where it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember, real quick, I'll tell this story, and it wasn't all that long ago. Within the last 2 decades when I was working in the department, I was sitting with one of the school's all-time great players. We'll go unnamed right now. One of the school's all-time great players had just finished playing, had not yet been drafted in the league. We were sitting there just before lunchtime, late morning. I said, all right, what do you got? What's the plan? He said, well, I got just finished one workout. I've got another one coming later, but I'm going to head down. I'm going to get something to eat. Went to a sub shop. Said, I got to buy a 12-inch sub today. I'm going to have 6 of it for lunch. I'm going to save the other 6 for dinner. This was a guy that was 3 weeks from being drafted and playing here within the last 2 decades. That's where that has changed, and that fueling and refueling has come miles and miles.
Yeah.
Well, it should. It should.
It should. Yeah. Well, it should have been done a long time ago. But yes.
Don't get me going. That's that horse crap NCAA with their rules. That is what ultimately has screwed them now, because they tried to play absolute iron-fisted, not facing any reality whatsoever. Let's hammer these kids on things like you can't give them cream cheese, right? You talk about majoring in the minors. That's what they were concerned about, and then they went to the Supreme Court and got their ass absolutely whipped, and now everything is just crazy because of that, because of that mentality. That's the mentality. Anyway, I digress. As I said earlier,
move along to further action.
Yeah, further action in the third quarter. As I said, Garrett, first ever NIL guest sponsored here on Three Guys Before the Game, presented by Daniel's Men's Store. His appearance not only has given him some clothes, but also $50 million for this appearance.
No, that's not confirmed. You do not have that confirmed.
Hey, what?
I was getting to a question.
Oh, sorry. Go
That's
ahead.
all right. Since he's not answering any of yours, I might as well ask him one.
Because
give me your take on NIL. Because you're in that first group. You came in, there wasn't.
Yep.
You're leaving, there is. Give it to me. What are your thoughts on it?
I think it's a great thing when used correctly. I don't think that there should be any tampering or anything along those lines. But I think it's a great opportunity for guys to be able to, especially guys with families and people they have to support back home, to make extra money to help support them. I think it's a great thing because. College athletes, in a lot of the college towns are the face of the town. So I think it's great that they're able to capitalize that and, help their families out.
Yeah.
I think.
Here we go.
He already knows. He's already got it. Would you agree with that sentiment? So start with that. Whatever you're about to say, as you agree with that sentiment.
Which sentiment?
What he just said about NIL. You think it's good. You're a pro player getting paid.
Yeah, get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, get paid. I got some issues overall, but yes, fun. Well, we talked about this many times. The colleges screwed it up by straining a gnat and swallowing a camel years ago, and not sharing the revenue. By not sharing the revenue for generations, that was the big screw up. Putting all the money into coaches, into facilities, and having essentially free labor. That was a huge mistake. Now you're finally getting compensated. But okay, so in a game where you are playing. Assuming whether you starter or come in relief, and there's something there's a late hit on you, there's a little scrape, you get up, you're a little feisty. Who is the first player on the offense to come to your side? Who's going to help you out in the scrape? Who's the first one?
Probably the big boys up front.
Okay, they'll be right there.
Yeah, I think Kansas State, it happened last year, and. The O-line wasn't too happy with that, so I think Jaquay Hubbard handled business. I think on that.
Okay.
So I'd probably say any one of the 5 big boys up front will
be there quick.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, good. Good to know.
They know me. They know me that I'm not the biggest guy, but especially when it becomes the D lineman. So I think that they'll handle it.
Will you chip back?
I was just gonna say, you like to talk out there?
Yeah, I love it. I love it, but I've had to learn that I was much worse in high school, but I've had to learn that the quarterback, because that play clock goes. Yeah. So after one play, you got to look to silent for the next play because
you can't be screwing around. Yeah,
it's not stopping for anybody.
Yeah. What's your normal when you start trash talking? My guess would be this. Normal trash talk starts, let's say you run the ball, you run out of bounds, and you get a significant play. Is your first piece of trash talk normally to the defensive back as you give the ball to the official and start heading back? Going to be here all day. It's going to be a long day. You starting with that one? Is that normally an entree to it?
It's probably something like that, just maybe a little more not family friendly. But I really don't know what I say.
It just comes out.
It just kind of happens.
He's got to get back. Like he says, he's got to get back.
Yeah, because it's not like high school where they got to wait for the ball to be set.
No, I get it.
That 40 clock's rolling.
What is it on that? So what is that like when there's a big play you just ran, you're gassed, and now you're waiting for the play, right? You ever have an issue like the play in, man?
Well, if I bust a big run, I'm just worried about getting my breath back. A lot of times I'm like, all right, we can wait for the play to get in. I can get it in with 20 seconds left. Just let me get my breath back.
Okay.
But I mean, sometimes I want to play faster than the game plan calls for. But that's why I'm the player and they're the coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your favorite memory on the field so far in your career?
I think it'll be tough to beat the Oklahoma game last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was just a culmination of a lot of things, a lot of work. A ton of people believing in me from back home, from up here. A lot of people believing in me and trusting in me. So I think I remember sitting after watching that game, or sitting after on the field with my dad, my brother, and my mom. And just really being thankful and blessed that I chose to come up here because the school means the world to me.
Yeah, you got a little scoot to you there, man. Boom, boom,
There was
boom,
that.
boom.
I'm just looking back. You had that touchdown in the fourth quarter, 11-yard touchdown run.
Oh, wrong way.
That's all right. Wrong way. Make something happen.
Doesn't matter. That's his.
Make something happen.
That's his version of Major Harris's wrong way, right way.
Wrong way. Whatever.
Is this it?
Make plays.
That's a hell of a throw.
No, he just ran it in a minute ago.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a hell of a throw right
You mean the fade worked?
there. Yeah, it did.
Was that fade or back shoulder though?
Back
Okay, that's
shoulder.
more back shoulder.
Yeah. Boom.
Okay,
Underneath
get
some
out.
pylon.
Put your
Get
head
out.
down. Put
Get
your
out.
head down. Run through somebody.
That's it. That's it. So no
was a
matter
fun
what
game.
happens, you will always be the guy that led West Virginia to its first ever Big 12 victory over Oklahoma.
Yeah, the defense really picked me up. Keeping them. I think it was 23-20. So keeping an offense like that under 20 points. Defense played phenomenal. I don't think our tight ends got enough credit for that game. Traylon Davis and Brian Palindi, I think they played their butts off. We ran a lot to counter that game, and they were getting in the hole every time. And then obviously our O-line and wide receivers Bryce, they played their hearts out.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of defense, that's one of the questions heading into this season is how much better the defense will be this season. Back end specifically that you went against all spring. A bunch of different guys back there now. Should be some talent. That group should take a step forward this year, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I think they will take a step forward, and it all falls onto, or they'll all follow Aubrey Burks. I think he's one of the best players I've ever played against. And he has a real knack for the game. He feels things that you shouldn't feel as a defense, as a defender. So I think if he when he gets the guys going in the right direction, I have confidence in him.
Give me a couple newbies that people might not be aware of right now that during workouts this summer, throwing it around a little bit, that you're going like, oh, that's a cat.
Let's think. On offense or defense?
Either or. People don't know about yet.
I mean, people know about Rodney, but
What do you think there?
He's done a great job this summer. He graduated later. His high school graduated later, so he missed the first couple of weeks of summer. But he's done a phenomenal job picking up the playbook. In all of our player practices, he's made some plays. But the guy probably is Noah Massey from Texas, I believe. He's a big guy, but he can run. He's got great hands. He's probably a guy that I don't think many people know of, but he's going to be a guy.
Okay, there's a name. Put that one.
How about flip back to defense for a second. You're lining up. You were looking across at the first string defense. Who was a guy you made sure you knew where they were?
Other than Aubrey Burks, I'll go 3 levels. I'll go secondary, linebacker,
Yep, very good.
D-line. Probably Aubrey Burks in the Aubrey or Marcus Floyd in the secondary.
Okay.
They're both players. They both see the game in a special way. And then Lee Koba at Mike linebacker. He's probably he gets off the bus first again. He looks the part. And then Sean Martin. Martin looks he runs with the mids. So he runs with the tight ends and the linebackers and stuff. And he plays defensive line. So he's a super athletic guy. So every time I make sure I know where those 3 guys are.
Obviously, we know Sean well from Bluefield. Great size, yeah, awesome high school career here.
So a year ago, West Virginia opens at Pitt. The electricity of that game was tremendous. And this year, it's going to be Penn State. 100,000 plus. So how much do you think about that? Do you start visualization now